Margaret Brennan, host of Face the Nation, joining us now on CBS4 and CBSDenver.com. Margaret, what a week. The president met with the Queen of England today, talked with Prime Minister Theresa May. How is this trip going compared to Mr. Trump's NATO meeting?
Well, the president at NATO in Brussels really left many European officials in their retelling flabbergasted that he seemed to be questioning the military alliance at NATO. While he did voice support for it, their concern is that increased funding and voiced support, it doesn't offset the damage being done by raising questions about whether it is obsolete. There was very much concern about that. And then in the UK, the president was given a very warm welcome by Prime Minister Theresa May and her government, as well as the Queen. But well, he walked into today's press conference in a bit of an awkward state, given that he gave an interview criticizing the prime minister for her handling of negotiations to exit the European Union. So he directly criticized her publicly, which is something that would be pretty awkward if you can imagine a foreign official coming here and doing so on U.S. soil. So this was a bit of diplomatic cleanup today, but the big show is really Monday when he meets with Vladimir Putin. Yeah, thanks for segueing into that. What are the biggest worries and possibilities as well going into that summit with Putin? Well, today, the special counsel led by Robert Mueller indicted 12 Russian military intelligence officers, naming them specifically as having been directly involved in attempts to influence the outcome of the 2016 election. The fact that this was released today makes it difficult for the president to avoid the topic of election meddling when he meets with Vladimir Putin. The concern is that they will be one-on-one for an extended period of time, and that the president may agree to a proposal from Vladimir Putin without necessarily taking into consideration some of the rest of U.S. foreign policy here. There are some differences being highlighted between his national security team and what the president says. The national security team is very hardline, very tough-minded, describing Russia as an adversary. President Trump, however, seems to be very friendly, and there's concern here that he may cut a deal that isn't in the best interest of the U.S. Of course, the president says that is not at all the case, and he thinks he can repair things.
We know that a lot of his aides have been saying you should have somebody else in the room when you meet with Vladimir Putin, but it looks as if he's going to go his own way on that, and he seems pretty firm about it.
Yes, I'm told that it's going to be between 30 to 60 minutes that the president will spend one-on-one with Vladimir Putin before other aides join them. And listen, Vladimir Putin has been president a very long time in Russia, and he very much has a priority list in terms of the things he wants to get done. President Trump really believes in his own personal chemistry and that he can be the one to reset relations, bring them back from this Cold War era low. So that is the question. Is this a negotiation? Is this a confrontation? Because keep in mind, while President Trump wants to broker new deals with Russia, Russia is currently breaking the last deal they brokered with President Trump when it comes to Syria. They are in violation of a nuclear arms control agreement, according to both the Pentagon and the State Department. And they annexed territory in Europe, in Ukraine, biting off that piece of Crimea, something that is very much a worry for our European allies who are concerned that Russia is going to destabilize perhaps another country in their backyard.
As always, looking forward to Face the Nation this Sunday. Who's on the show?
We have a great lineup, not only reports from Helsinki, Finland, where that summit will be taking place, but we will also have Senator John Cornyn of Texas to talk about the Supreme Court nominee. Remember, that happened earlier this week. It's been such a busy one. We don't want to lose sight of that. We'll also be talking to Congressman Trey Gowdy of South Carolina, who had that contentious hearing yesterday on Capitol Hill with that FBI agent who's involved in the probe into election meddling. We'll talk about all of that on Sunday.
Well, you're so right. With this administration, there's always a fresh headline. Margaret, thanks so much. We'll see you on Sunday morning. We appreciate your time.